is it that you are teaching your daughters in terms of when they go out into the world, how to conduct themselves? Only in terms of their sense of personal safety. Who do they need to keep themselves safe from? Who? And don't just answer the question.
People. Yeah, I was gonna say the world.
Okay.
The world.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
People. Like you said, I get where you're trying to go with that. I'm not sitting. I'm not at that point yet, but it's not, hey, look out for men, look out for boys. No, it's look out for people.
Okay.
People are fucked up out here.
And I'm just asking you two specifically.
Wait, hold on. I have a 15-year-old daughter.
He can answer better than
I have a 15-year-old daughter. I tell her to be on the lookout for people, jealous girls, but I also tell her to be on the lookout for older men that's trying to prey on younger girls, offering rides and stuff like that. Is that what you're getting at? I tell her that, but that's what you learn in growing up, and that's that some men do that.
No, and that is fair, and that is fucking accurate. I can tell you stories of when I was 11 and 12. No, fuck that. 8. We had a handyman that used to come to the house, and one day my father was just like, my parents worked, and my dad was literally like, he's coming to the house, just give him the money for the work that he did, blah, blah, blah. He came to the house, I was there alone, he was drunk, and he tried to do some shit to me. It was fucking terrifying because I'm in my own fucking house, and this is somebody that my parents fucking trusted, and came there drunk, and it was really fucking bad. That is just one experience. There's so many more that I can talk about that happened before the age of fucking 16 years old. The reality is that you can be in the safest environment, and still there will be a situation that unfolds that where you need to teach your daughters to be careful of predatory boys and men. And I'm not talking about people.
Hey, look, if you made it this far, welcome to the LA Rapper channel. And I go by the name of South Central B.ROB. South Central, that mean I'm from LA. Yeah, I'm an LA YouTuber, real West Side LA nigga. And not West LA, I'm talking about the West Side of LA for niggas that know it's a big difference between West LA and West Side of LA. You feel what I'm saying? And it's no disrespect to niggas from West LA. I fuck with the whole LA. Let that be known so nobody get in the comments and start talking about a bunch of weird shit. Because you motherfuckers do be in the comments saying weird shit, thinking that you doing something. And I'm going to get right back at you super disrespectful because I don't give a fuck. So if you think you're going to get in the comments and talk crazy to me and I'm not going to say nothing back, you are sadly mistaken. I call it engagement, and all y'all doing is helping me promote and push the channel, and YouTube is going to push it to more people when they see y'all dropping comments. So drop all the comments you want, saying whatever the fuck you want. I allow it. For y'all that don't know how this YouTube shit work, when you drop a video and when it comes to the comments, they ask you, do you want to limit comments? No. Let it all come through. Whatever type of disrespectful shit y'all got to say it. Because I'm going to go way more disrespectful. But that's another comment. I mean, that's another topic for another day. You feel me? But listen, this question right here is a real big question of today's time. Does masculinity still exist? Because a lot of people is basically saying masculinity is dead. A lot of men is saying that, and this is how they feel. I don't feel it's dead, but I feel like it's an attack on the masculine man. Because there's a difference between a man and a masculine man. It's a lot of these bitch ass niggas out here, a lot of bitch ass men out here with their nuts tucked, and they walking around with their head down instead of held up high with their chest out. You feel me? Standing on principles, standing on business. You feel what I'm saying? And we could even go with how it started with the whole toxic masculinity. Like, what does that even really mean? They basically saying, we don't want a man that's going to stand up for himself. We don't want a man that's going to be able to articulate how he feel and what's going on in the world. And then they also like to say you sassy when you stand up for yourself. You feel me? Because they don't want a man being a man and being able to basically tell a woman to shut the fuck up and he know his place. You feel me? Because, yeah, I'm going to tell a bitch to shut the fuck up fast. It is what it is. You're not going to tell me about, oh, I got to have emotional intelligence. But, bitch, you don't got to have emotional intelligence. You get to run off at the mouth all fucking day. But I don't get to tell you to shut the fuck up. That's out. Ain't nothing toxic about that. Bitch, you being toxic by running your mouth way too much about some bullshit. And I told you to shut the fuck up. I don't care about y'all being offended. I'm telling y'all, this is what a real man thinks. And a lot of men are not going to tell you that. But I am. I'm going to tell you that. Ain't no such thing as no toxic masculinity. All it is just whether a person is toxic or not. Masculinity is not toxic. This is it's something we're born with and we can't get rid of. So you can't attack somebody for basically being born. That's out. That don't make no motherfucking sense. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and then when you do the math on what the bitch Melyssa Ford was saying in the video I showed y'all, like, what is she talking about? She's trying to make a point with saying that predators are the reason why women feel like the masculinity is something they don't want to deal with, something that the world wants to get rid of because of these predators. Why would you even compare sexual predators to a masculine man? A real man is not a predator. A real man is not even thinking on that level. A real man is thinking about protecting the women in his family and women out in the world. That's how we think. A real man. So why would we be having a conversation about masculinity and you go and bring up predators? Like, I'm confused. Like, you dealing with trauma in your life that you ain't dealt with. So you want to start talking about predators when we talking about masculinity and men being real men. And then she brings up a scenario that she was involved in when she was about 8 years old, and her father left her at home to pay a plumber. So the plumber comes over drunk and sexually assaults her. So she's living with the resentment of her father leaving her home unprotected to do a job that he was supposed to do. Now you got this trauma and all the other probably predator dudes you done dealt with on top of that. Now you got this distorted view on the world, and I mean on the world of men, and now you want to tie in this predator shit with the label of masculinity. That's crazy. You can't do that. Because, like, your father was wrong, yeah, for sure. But that's something that you got to deal with your father. And them other predator dudes you dealt with in the past, that's something you got to deal with yourself. You got to figure out a way to get out of that and heal from that. Me personally, if I had a daughter, I would have never let her stay home to deal with a grown-ass man, whether I know him or not. I don't give a fuck. Ain't no way. My daughter is to be protected at all times. You feel what I'm saying? And then you notice she gonna ask Ice and Flip, what is the things that you teach your daughter to look out for in the world? And you can tell she's alluding to, oh, you're telling your daughters to look out for men. And they said, we're teaching our daughters to look out for people, period. And then you see Ice say, well, I see where you're trying to go with it, but no, we're not going to let you go there. Because you basically trying to pinpoint men as predators and women are not. So when they said people, they're basically saying we're teaching our daughters to look out for people in general, because predators are not just men. You have women that are predators as well. You have men and women that are working together to kidnap and abduct and traffic kids and girls and all type of shit. So you can't just put this shit off on just solely men. But when a woman is doing shit like this, you can tell she has man issues. She has daddy issues. Because a real woman is not afraid of men. because she was brought up by a real man. She was surrounded by real men. She understands that a real man in his masculine role is a provider and a protector, not a predator. So she would have never, a real woman would have never started talking about predators when the conversation was about masculinity being attacked and how it's an agenda being pushed on masculinity. Doechii wasn't speaking on her preference. Doechii was speaking on the agenda, which is to make masculine men like some type of scarcity. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's almost like it's so much of an attack on the masculine man to the point to where you don't even want to be assertive. You don't even want to be yourself. You don't even want to be what a man is really supposed to be, because society, you feel like society is looking down at you, or you feel like it's a negative thing to be a man when it's not. Nobody should feel like that as a man. I don't feel like that. I don't know why another man would, but I can see why, because it's a constant attack on real men. But then you got women out here that are saying, oh, it ain't enough real men out here. Yeah, because you bitches is subscribing to these stupid ass narratives about men being toxic when they show their masculinity. So how could you, like, in return, want a real masculine man, but at the same time you're talking about him being toxic? Like, that don't make sense. It don't add up. And like I was saying with the Doechii situation, like, it's impossible for her to be talking about her preference, which is women, if the question was, what are your red flags? And she said a straight man. But bitch, you came from a straight man. The only way you could have got here is through a straight man. Where is your father? I'm fucking confused. And anybody that's out here that agrees with her, you're not a straight man. Like, how do you not see that it's an agenda being pushed on the straight male, the straight man? And not to mention, if we want to throw more on there, the attack on black men, plus you throw the attack on masculine men in there at the same time, like, we getting attacked from all type of different angles. You feel what I'm saying? So when you hear these women get on these podcasts and on the internet bashing straight men for being masculine, you got to think to yourself, like, where's her father? What's her relationship with her father? And I guarantee you her relationship with her father is some bullshit. What's the relationship with the father of her kids? Some bullshit. What's the relationship with her and the dudes she's dealing with? Matter of fact, she ain't even dealing with dudes because they in and out of her life. She can't even hold down a long-term relationship. She can't even keep a man, but always blaming men. And I said what I said, though. It's South Sin.